Thank you very much for your work, Dr. Craig. I was wondering if there was absolutely no expectation of a resurrection, of a first century Jew inventing a resurrection, why did the Pharisees put a guard at the tomb to keep the disciples out?
That is one of the main objections to the historicity of Matthew's story. And you notice that that story didn't play any part in the case that I built tonight. Most scholars don't accept the historicity of the guard story. But what is important about the guard story, I think for our purposes, is that closing comment that Matthew makes. This has been spread among the Jews to this day. It shows that Matthew is telling this guard story in order to refute this widespread Jewish allegation that the disciples had come and stolen away the body of Jesus, and that's why the tomb was empty. It wasn't the resurrection, it was body snatching. And so that's the really important historical nugget to take out of the guard story, and why nothing in the case that I presented tonight presupposes the historicity of the guard story. Now,
Dr. Timothy McGrew, professor of philosophy at Western Michigan University, has a thorough response to the challenge of Matthew's veracity concerning the resurrection, as it pertains to the guard's narrative in Matthew 27:62-66. Dr. McGrew picks apart the criticism that Dr. Vincent Torley provides against the historicity of the guard's narrative. Torley claims that the narrative is unhistorical for 4 reasons. 1. It is mentioned only in Matthew's Gospel, not in the other 3. 2. This account fails to explain why the body could not have been stolen on Friday night. 3. We are not told why Pilate would agree to the Jewish leaders' request. 4. The Jewish rulers would not have made such a request of Pilate, since a Gentile employed by a Jew would not be allowed to work on the Sabbath. McGrew systematically dismantles each of these reasons. A quick summary of each rebuttal. 1. Rebuttal. This is an argument from silence. Why can't a single source be adequate for historicity? As McGrew points out, many of the events of antiquity crop up in only one source. 2. Rebuttal. This reason is assuming that the request is made on Saturday morning. Again, McGrew points out, it is not even clear from the text that the request was made on Saturday. 3. Rebuttal. Just because we are not told why something happens, doesn't mean it didn't happen. McGrew. This is a very odd way to object to historical evidence. Many narratives recount events without affording us an explanation for them, and sometimes we are left to guess what that explanation might be. So what? 4. Rebuttal. Nothing in Jewish law as interpreted at the time would prevent them from making such a request. McGrew lays out a clear rebuttal to these charges against the guards at the tomb.
if you were to try to defend the historicity of the guard story, I think you would probably say, of course, the Jewish leaders themselves didn't believe that Jesus was going to rise from the dead, but they may have heard that he predicted such a thing from Judas, who betrayed Jesus and whom they had hired to hand him over. They may have feared that there would be some sort of an event there, and so they wanted a guard placed to prevent anything like that. We don't know. But the important thing is that it plays no role in the case for the historicity of the resurrection of Jesus.
Okay, thank you.
The next day, the one after Preparation Day, the chief priests and the Pharisees went to Pilate. Sir, they said, we remember that while he was still alive, that deceiver said, after 3 days I will rise again. So give the order for the tomb to be made secure until the 3rd day. Otherwise his disciples may come and steal the body and tell the people that he has been raised from the dead. This last deception will be worse than the first.